Hey guys. Okay, I figured I should do an update video on what we actually did with the drip irrigation system because I was really struggling. And then I figured out that it was going to cost a whole lot more money to get enough emitters and all that kind of stuff. So we ended up pulling up obviously we needed the blank distribution hose to go all the way there and all the way along the back or the front, I guess, of the garden. And then we just bought this copper emitter hose. This is like every 18 inches. Now it didn't line up perfectly, so we've got a few splices and some additions to kind of lengthen it to try to get it back on track. But it's all been tested, and so far it seems like everything is getting a decent watering with it, so I'm happy about that. So you can see the little holes there right here, and they're just every 18 inches. Now I tried to, when I planted all of this stuff, I tried to make it 18 inches, but either I didn't measure properly exactly or something. So if I had to start all over again, do it all over again, I would lay the fabric, lay the emitter hoses, because I didn't know I was going to do it this way, and then burn holes and plant in the holes 18 inches apart. But that's okay. It's working out. We're getting it. Sorry about the wind. I had to stop recording for a minute because literally a huge wind gust came and it even started pulling up the fabric. Like, the problem is that the ground is sort of soft still, where of course it's been tilled and tilled, so it's not very strong. But geez, there's been like no wind all day. It's been like so hot, just a teeny breeze. Anyway, so as you can see, I've just used these tees, which I ended up having to order more of those, and I just connected the emitter hose to them. I ended up moving this whole thing down because if you remember originally, this one wasn't a big deal because I don't think I'd even run it yet. But like this one is all kind of cockeyed because this was originally running down the center of these two rows of peppers. So since it had to go in line with the peppers, couldn't run it down the middle, had to kind of slide the hose all the way down, and it's like a little wavy and a little funky because of that. The same thing down here because I had already put tees in and run a line down the middle. So just pulling it down like 6 inches or so kind of helped, but it did create a bit of a wavy line down there, but I'm not really worried about that. So basically, like you can see here, a splice, and I just added, since I had more of the blank distribution the blank distribution hoses, I just put a coupler on each end, and so that I could extend this and make the holes then line back up, because it was easier to do it that way. I figured then trying to run emitters to all of these, and for certain plants like the tomatoes and the peppers and stuff, it was more important to have the holes kind of lining up, especially the tomatoes because they're very thirsty all the time. Okay, so the raised bed, this one you can see on this bed, I just had little scrap pieces basically of the hose left for the emitter hose, and this is an even smaller piece, and when I get more couplers or something I might add on to it, because right now I just had to use the shutoff valve as a coupler, and my dad even gave me like 9 couplers because the kits that I bought only came with 2, so, or maybe even 1. I think I only saw 1 in there. Anyways, this one looks like a bit of a mess, so I took the hose that I had started doing the peppers with, that very first hose that I did with testing out putting these little emitters on there, and so it didn't fit perfectly for the space, but I just kind of ended up doing my best to sort of like customize it and make it work. So you can kind of see I've had to like, there's so many little plants because this is not planned the very best. So if I redo this bed, I'm probably gonna get some, maybe even the 1/4 inch, some of the emitter hose around and just kind of snake it through. But this is what we got for now because I don't want these things to not get watered properly. And as of right now, the water has been very inconsistent, so nothing looks really good. And basically this is what we're working with. I had an elbow, which looks like, for some reason, looks like it's pulling out of here a little bit, so I'll try to push that back on. But I had an elbow there, and probably could use one here because that's kind of crimping, but I've tested it, it works. Everything seems to be good. I do have an emitter run down here to this grape, and I put the 2-gallon on it just because it's competing with weeds, although I plan to fix that very soon. But getting water to all these things was kind of the most important thing to me right now, and this will all have to be hidden better. But I'm not worried about this because we're going to put a fabric down here and eventually mulch. But this, I ordered like some more elbows to go here, so I'll have one up there and one down there to go across the ground, and then we'll cover that over with fabric and mulch probably. And I still plan to dig a small trench along all of that really tall grass and weeds to bury that hose in. Like I said, it's been a bit of a trial and error, and it's been kind of not fun. I'll just say it's not been fun. It's not really the fault of the hose and the kits and all that stuff. It's definitely my inexperience. So, but it seems to be working out okay. Not really sure why that was pulled away from there, but and even if the holes don't line up exactly perfectly, I've been testing everything with my water tester and everything's getting watered, so I'm happy with that. If you see all these dead leaves, it's just from pruning. And you can see the size of these cherry tomatoes. Like I said, these are the ones that I saved seeds from that really tall cherry tomato plant that was like right over on that side when there was a fence over there. But it was the one that was really tall for some reason. I don't know why. And it was really vigorous. So I decided to save seeds off from that one. And that's what these three are. And you can tell, I mean, they definitely got that vigorous type of growth. So yeah, these have to be repruned again because it's just something you gotta stay on top of. Because I don't want to get diseases in here this year, if I can avoid them at all, of course. Nobody wants them. But yeah, you can definitely tell the size difference with the tall cherry tomato plants. And then those are the drawer cherry tomato plants, and they're like half the size. But they had big tomatoes last year. We'll see if they do again this year. Maybe they're so small because maybe they've already kind of adjusted to the fact that they were in a small container last year. I don't know. You can see some of the eggplants are finally trying to grow and do something, but these ones aren't doing great. I've got one of the, whatever it is, like I said, aswad or a swad, or I don't know. That one looks pretty, I can't remember if I planted seeds in this one or this one, so I don't dare pluck those little guys yet because I don't know if those are seeds or weeds, and that one hasn't done anything, and maybe I didn't put any more extra seeds in that. And this one was being chewed by something that looked like a potato beetle, but it was huge, like almost June bug sized, but it was striped like a potato beetle. You can see the beans over there are getting massive. The leaves are huge on them, and the pumpkins are doing all right. So mostly I just wanted to update you on the irrigation. As of right now, I have it running every 12 hours for like 1 hour, and it's definitely doing its job. I'm really excited about that. We'll see. Today this just got finished, so it's kind of a testing thing, and I'm not entirely sure. I should have marked exactly where I put the seeds, but I thought I'll know as soon as I see them. But I don't know. If they don't come up, then that'll be a problem. And I plan on trying to mulch these 2 beds anyways because of all that clay and stuff. And I probably next week will order the poles that we're going to do to make the netting over the top of these, so to protect them from all the gross bugs. And I think that's all I'm doing as far as updates right now. Yeah, so far I'm really happy. I've learned that inline fertilizer thing I bought isn't really going to work. So what I have to do is I've ordered some different adapters because it's like 1/2 inch males on 2 ends, and so I need male to female to go from the 1/2 inch to hopefully it's 3/4 inch. I'm not very good at like figuring that stuff out, but anyways, I've ordered a couple things and hopefully some of them at least will work. We're just gonna have to see. And you can see, the grass is green again. It's been raining here on and off like normal. Like we got spring back and we actually have had quite a lot of rain. But it's been still really hot. Today's not too bad. I think it's like 80. But poor Rocky, my only little dog left, collapsed 2 days ago out here when it was like, I think it was 98 degrees. And the real feel was much higher than that because there was like no wind at all. And it was pretty muggy. And I didn't even know he was out here. And he had collapsed on the ground over there, probably coming back from eating from his little dirt spot. And he's been having this cough for like 4 days that I don't know if it's because of the wildfires or if some little dogs get like that tracheal collapse sort of thing, and he's just been coughing a lot. Anyways, he yipped a few times and I heard him and I came running and I seen him laying on the ground, so I took him in the house, and it took him a little bit, but then he was panting so hard and it scared me so bad. But he seemed to make a full recovery and he seems okay other than his cough is still there. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I hate to even think about it. Anyways, that's it, guys. This video is way longer than it needed to be, but if you stuck with me through this whole thing, I super appreciate it. I think it's really awesome of you. And yeah, I don't know if you learned anything like I did from trying this drip irrigation. It's a lot more complicated than I expected. But I guess once you get the hang of it, then it's not too bad. But I definitely recommend doing this type of hose rather than the blank ones and then adding all of the fittings for each plant if you have a lot of plants. If you got a small amount of plants, I'm sure it's fine. But anyways, thanks guys. Talk to you later. God bless.